Okay, so we are here with Tony, who just showed us how content can be shown in very different engaging ways, and that there's no point just gathering attention if you don't have engagement or interaction with your consumer. So, my question for you is, a lot of brands never used to think that understanding the user was important, but you've shown throughout the creative process that you have to understand who you're creating for. How do you do that?
I know it's always a conflict, right? Sometimes a challenge, right? But when or even dilemma when brand will always want to fight to say, I want to show everything of the brand, but to make the consumer the hero of the story instead of the brand of the this story, I think becomes a necessity when you realize that if you just all talk about the brand, we're just not going to get them right. I mean, first and foremost, we understand how people are consuming today. Yeah. So from that consumption habit, you realize that if you don't actually speak to them, you lose them. So yes, brand is important. I'm not saying it's not, but the only difference is instead of putting brand in the first, we're putting it in the second. So what the whole conversation should become is how brand help you to become the hero, not how the brand is the hero. So when you actually do that, I think you can see from the result how much people actually begins to engage with you. And that is the best testament to realizing that you have to think now, not so much from the perspective of the brand, which are the very key enabler, but the consumer-centric way will lead you to where you want your journey to be. That is a key thing that when you plan, right, or create content. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, it's very rare when you get like such amazing brands like the Marriott, where you're consciously not creating out of assumption. Like you know who you're creating for, which is why if you should check out some of their pieces on YouTube. Yeah. I have two more questions for you. One is, where do you see content marketing going in the next 5 years?
Now, this is a question I think I always get whenever I'm in the conferences. They ask me, how do you see the future of content marketing? To me, I think the future of content marketing is here already because first and foremost, I think now with what is going online right now with ad blogging, with a more kind of like, way to actually harder to reach out the consumer in terms of actually advertising, I think content marketing will become more and more important. All content and storytelling will become more and more important because that is the best way, whether organically or whether you put in money to help promote them. Still the same principle remains that you need to have something that is actually value added, and content is that value. Yeah.
Thank you. And last question is, how do you think that summits like CMS can help in the future?
I think CMS is an important way of actually promoting content marketing more and also to share and exchange and also to really bring people who are actually in the sort of like process of going into content marketing, especially brand, to really have a forum, a place for them to network, to not only learn, but also at the same time to be able to share and exchange a valuable insight information to really better develop that whole content marketing industry in the long term. Yeah.
Thank you.